Okay, so I'm going to be talking about personality in this video. To start off with, I think that my personality is ENFP. So I have, first off, I have an extrovert intuition, and then I have introverted feeling, and then extroverted thinking, then introverted sensing. Now, the thing about intuition is that it's trying to find insight. So when I have my intuitions, things just pop up randomly and they're connected to other things that I knew about already. So the thing is that it's a web. It's a web of links and nodes that everything's connected to everything else. And with introvert intuition, it's it's um it's more linear. It's trying to find the goal. Like it's reaching towards some kind of conclusion. So it's trying to predict what happens next. So the thing is that in its search for what happens next, it creates this string of this and this and this. So it's more causal. So it's more things happen in order. So thing is with me, things randomly pop up in my brain, but with introverted intuition, it's a sequence, and it's trying to put things in between those sequences so that it gets the full picture of why this happened to the from cause to effect. It's like the ultimate thing over here drew its way over here, and that's why the conclusion is the way it is. So the thing is it's trying to find the cause of things. The goal, the thing that the thing that over here that happened for a reason. I'm going to find that reason, and so I'm going to find a linear progression towards it. But but I randomly things pop up in my head, and then I connect it all together, and then that's the picture of the world that I get. So I gather information randomly, and I just assort it together associatively. And then what happens next is that I have introverted feeling. So introverted feeling is it's structured because I have things that I like and things that I don't like, and so I try to keep those things separate, in extroverted intuition. I have a web of a higher dimensional graph or whatever. This over here is good, this over here is less good, this has a feeling over here, I had a feeling over here of this and that. And with extroverted feeling, it's more of a I like what he likes, so therefore I'm gonna get to know him better, so that I can find out all the things that agree with what I like by seeing it through how other people like it. So the thing is, an extroverted feeling person actually has likes and dislikes. It's just that when they see something from another person about how they have likes and dislikes, they can put that into their view, to saying, oh, well, he likes this, so that's what I should, and I like it, so that means that we have something in common. And so the thing is that it's just like how extroverted intuition gathers all this random data to build a world model. The extrovert feeler gathers all these feelings from other people and then sorts them out by whether they like those feelings or not. So they belong to the person, but it's not like a personal. If I go and I eat ice cream, and I like it, then that means that I did it myself. But the thing is that the extroverted feeler is looking towards others to get that to find out what they like and don't like, you know. So I do it myself, and they reach out and they observe others to see that, you know. So and then next comes like extroverted thinking. Now, according to Michael Pierce, it's inductive. So that means it gathers evidence and then it organizes that evidence, and then it's sort of like introverted intuition, except that it's more logical. So the thing is that like thinking is logical. It orders things, you know. So like when the introverted intuition person comes to a conclusion, that conclusion comes from an insights from all the things that they know and all the things that like that. The thing is, they don't, that it just pops up inside their heads. It didn't come from a process of organizing. So thinking is a process, or like it's an organization factor. It doesn't just pop into your head. You say like you do logic with it. So inductive reasoning is where you gather all this evidence and then you put it all together. Introverted intuition is not putting it all together. It's just like rejecting or accepting whether it to find the cause. So, but the thing is that so introverted thinking is organizing everything internally. So well, it's doing it deductively. So that means deduction means that it knows that it has what's true, and it has how can I organize it. So those two things go together. Whereas inductive reasoning, extroverted intuition, says I have all this data, I organize it, and then that creates something. So it's like it has to go back to it's more like a goal set. So the thing is that when you gather evidence and then you organize it so that you can have some kind of it's sort of like extrovert. Instead of random things being put into the web with my extroverted intuition, instead it's being rearranged according to logic so that it makes sense. With extroverted intuition, it just happens randomly. It's like I'm not in control of it. But the thing is that with logic is being in control of organizing the data you have. So intuition is something that you can't control, but logic and thinking is something you can control, and so that's where both of those go together. And so the next thing is sensing. So extrovert sensors are they spend most they get really excited about things, and like they like to well, the thing is that they have such a refined visual memory system that they can like draw the Mona Lisa, or they can draw like the Last Supper, or they can draw like any Renaissance thing that you could think of. But like my sister is extroverted sensation, so like it's her vision is really, really good. She can draw things that are like photorealistic. So the thing is, the back of the brain has that characteristic of it. Now the last one, introverted sensation, that's more of a what do I know? Like it has to do with knowing stuff. So like be certainty and stability. So Michael Pierce calls it recording, since it takes sensory information and it remembers it just because it's relatable to, I don't know, it's like I don't know, the details like so it's like with me with I remember all these random facts, but the thing is that that mostly comes from that, because extroverts intuition and introverted sensation work together. So if you take it that extroverted sensation is just like photorealistic, introverted sensation is more like it records things. So I have a very, very good memory about things that have happened in my life, and the thing is that if I were a dominant introverted sensation, then that means that like I might remember everything and remember every detail about my life and stuff like that. You know, it's like I remember this happened, I remember that happened, I remember this happened. But the thing is, like, since it's my last function, it's like it's not as pronounced as some people, because some people just remember everything. They record everything that ever happens and to them. And so the thing is, like, if they work on like a ISTJ, if they're working on something, they're very thorough, and they remember everything about the thing they're working on. And so that just means that it's lower in my, it's like the last function, my inferior function. So the thing is, I have to come to a conclusion. So you don't control your perceptions. Your perceptions just happen, and your judgments are what you control. So you when you think about what you like or dislike, it's like feeling, and when you think about how to organize information, then that's thinking, because it's logical. It's like you're in control of the organizing process. And with me, like, I have like so I just make associations all the time. And the one thing to say about that is that I took a IQ test, and so the thing is, like, even though I talk real fast and I sound like I know what I'm talking about, like, I still have problems holding information in my head and organizing it, and the speed at which I can organize the items in my head is somewhat very slow. So I have problems organizing my thoughts, or just like manipulating mental variables, and I have problems doing it at a quick speed. So working memory is poor, processing speed is slow, and everything that I say is just something that, like, it's just inside me. It's a web, you know. It's a web of things that I know, and but that doesn't mean that I'm exactly perfect, or it doesn't mean that I can manipulate or organize information that well. I just connect everything in my head, like it's all connected in there and stuff like that.